right now. This is Big 12 Sports Saturday. Presented by George Webb Restaurants. Our kitchen's always cooking.
Welcome into another edition of Big 12 Sports Saturday. I'm Dario Melendez. Joining me this week on the show, Jared Fialco and Drew Olson. So let's kick around what we're going to be talking about on this week's edition. Team USA's World Cup run has come to an end, but it did a lot. But did it do enough to change the world's perception of American soccer? Plus, a new chapter in Madison. We break down the Luke Fickell hire for the Badgers, and Chris Middleton made his season debut with the Bucks last night. But we are going to start with the Packers. Green Bay and Chicago renew their rivalry, the oldest in the NFL, with something pretty cool on the line: the most wins in history by an NFL franchise. Whoever wins on Sunday will break their current tie and pick up their 787th win. And ahead of this historic game, we have to talk about who else. Aaron Rodgers, nursing both a rib injury and a thumb injury, but he will play on Sunday. This week, AR12 addressing the injury and the quarterback position moving forward.
Look, I'd love to finish the season out, and but I understand, this is a business, and there's a lot of us kind of older guys who play a decent amount, or they might want to see some younger guys play. Hopefully we don't have to have that conversation.
Look, I get it. Aaron Rodgers is a competitor. He's a tough guy. He wants to play. Doesn't want to ever be sat on the sideline. But the Packers, Drew, have a 3% chance of making the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old. At some point, you might want to sit him, right? Especially if he's not delivering wins.
Yeah, I think that, Dario, the disconnect for me is all the people who scream about him not being at the offseason program now don't want him to play with Christian Watson and these young receivers that he needs to nurture. Aren't these snaps more valuable than the ones in shorts and underwear on the Ray Nitschke field? I think he should play until they're eliminated. The Packers aren't about tanking. They should be above that.
Well, look, the most important thing that Brian Gutekunst is supposed to do is put the Packers in a position to win not just this year, but in the future. And if you end up losing these games because a 3% chance is pretty much out of it, right, Jared? You want to be able to get a good draft pick and see if you have something in Jordan Love. So for you, Jared, do you want to see Rodgers play, or do you want to see someone else maybe?
Well, that 3% is why Rodgers is going to go on Sunday. He says as long as this team is still mathematically breathing, they are not in the ground, he is going to do the tough guy act. And look, I honestly think at this point, he's a 4-time MVP. He's earned the right to say, hey, if I want to go, put him in the lineup.
Earned the right? He's not winning. Guys,
he's done a lot for the franchise,
Packers
though.
Aren't winning. This is a what have you done for me lately league. This is all about production. That's why Amari Rodgers got kicked to the curb. That's why Joe Barry's probably going to get fired. We're going to talk about him in a second. But guys, this is all about production, this league. Aaron Rodgers isn't producing yet. He's having a good year compared to other people, but his good year isn't producing W's, and that's what this is all about, especially when you see 2 series, and yes, it was only 2 series by Jordan Love. You might actually have something with him. I understand Rodgers got hurt in Philly last week. He had to leave the game, but in came Jordan Love, and he did pretty well. And so this is what I want to know, Jared. Was this a product of Jordan Love actually being good, or was this Jordan Love actually running the offense that Matt LaFleur called and not checking out of it?
It could also easily be the fact that they were behind late in the game, that the Eagles were just trying to get to the finish to and not give up the huge play in that regard. So 2 series is an extremely small sample size to say, let's turn over the keys right now at this juncture. If they lose to the Bears, absolutely run with 10 the rest of the way. However, again, 2 series at this point. Don't change everything.
But the Packers, I should say the Eagles, did give up the big play with that Christian Watson, and they were still doing exactly what they did to Aaron Rodgers, Drew. They were playing that 2-high shell. They were playing man. They were playing cover 8 as well, where you're playing man and 2 and 4 on one side. So it's not like Jordan Love wasn't being thrown the kitchen sink. He ran the offense, and he did a pretty good job.
He looked pretty good, and we had a bigger sample last year when he started against the Chiefs, and he was okay in that game. Not as good as he looked in the fourth quarter against the Eagles. But I don't know what the rush is, and I think the Packers are bringing him back. I think they'll have both quarterbacks back next year. So everybody who says, oh, they need to see what they have in Jordan Love, they've had plenty of time in practices to see what they have in Jordan Love, just as they did 15 years ago with Aaron Rodgers when no one knew if he could play either.
Look, practice and games, we can all agree, right, are different. I mean, practice, there's a certain speed there, but a game time speed, it's a lot different, especially against guys that want to hurt you, want to hit you. And you have to see what you have in Jordan Love. I mean, because it's twofold. One, you're going to see if you do have the quarterback in the future, you'll get some wins and you'll be fine moving forward, which means you can address something else in the draft. But if Jordan Love's not the guy, because Jared, you mentioned it, 2 series, you don't want to give him the kitchen sink, you don't want to give him the keys of the car. But if he's not the guy, you're going to get a lot of losses, and then you can get a quarterback of the future in the draft. So it's twofold.
Thank you, Allen Iverson, for talking about practice.
I mean, practice. It's all about practice sometimes. One thing we do know is, I mean, look, yes, Packers quarterback position kind of up in the air moving forward. Packers defense has stunk this year. Green Bay allowing the most rushing yards in the league this year, including 363 on the ground to the Eagles. That said, what do you want to see here? I mean, Drew, is this blaming the players? Is it blaming Joe Barry? Because at some point we have to place blame somewhere, right?
Absolutely. Dario, all season it's been a dance of, is it the scheme? Is it the execution? Is it the effort? Is it the players? It has to stop somewhere, and I think it has to be on Joe Barry, the way that they play. Their tackling has been abysmal. You mentioned the run defense non-existent. It's scary to think what Justin Fields might do if he's healthy against them after watching what Jalen Hurts did. And they've had a bunch of guys that just have regressed, that they were counting on to play well this year, that have regressed, and that's a bad sign for a coach.
Jared?
Of course, there have been injuries. The defense has been decimated by injuries. Yeah. However, it seems like a lifetime ago we were talking about this team in the preseason being one of those elite defenses, one of the great Packer defenses of all times, right?
Yeah, not so much. I mean, look, when you have all those first-round draft picks, of course you're going to get excited. You heard the Packers offense, which obviously hasn't been great this year, talk about how good that Packers defense was in training camp. But it has to go on Joe Barry. I mean, at some point you have to stop doing what you want to do and do what's best for the team. Jair Alexander not covering the best opposing wide receiver is asinine when he is the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. I understand what you want to do. You want to be exotic. You want to be schemy. You want to be fun. But at some point, you have to get away from what you're doing and what you want to do if it's not working. And so far, the Packers, it hasn't worked at all. Anyways, you heard what the Three Stooges here in the studio had to say. But up next, we're going to hear from Matt Schneidman from The Athletic, who covers the green and gold. Going to get his thoughts. Plus, there's a new leader of the Wisconsin Badgers football program. We break down the Lou Fickell hire and what it means for the program ahead.
You're watching Big 12 Sports Saturday, presented by George Webb Restaurants. Our kitchen's always cooking.